Last time, I smooshed Hightower. I got smooshed on Swiftwater. I joined 2 Fort twice and joined too late for it to actually count twice as well. I wasn't able to feed a demo man on Barn Blitz. And I pushed the cart on Pier. Ah yes, Lazarus. One of the prettier maps that have been added to TF2. I joined at the start of a new game. I was sticking to medic since I seemed to help my team the best this way. It wasn't long before red team captured. Blue had almost no defense going on. I wonder how many people don't know about the healing pit that opens after your win. With one more round to win, red captured with ease. Blue seemed more interested in hiding. Sorry, Pyro. With almost no opposition, red started goofing around. Then we got bored and pushed towards their spawn. It wasn't long before we won and the game was over. Lazarus can be ticked off. Well, unticked off. Next up was a game of Gorge. Attack defense Gorge, that is. It was a pretty quick game on blue team. We pushed and we capped. It was so fast I didn't really have time to process the fact I had the Blutsager equipped for some reason. While getting ready to defend, I was auto-balanced to the other team. This time attacking was a bit harder with the previous team, but this blue team still put up a good fight. I had to sacrifice an Uber to keep my team's capture. I then proceeded to die a lot to pyros. We did eventually cap the point and begin pushing again. Unfortunately, the microphones also came out.
I am a gamer.
Shh. What the fuck?
Oh, this is great, gamers.
I got a few Ubers in that was sadly not effective at pushing through Red's defense. We were running out of time. In the last few seconds, someone tried to cap, but it was too late.
Quickly make me laugh, we might win.
I don't know.
I got the biggest dick.
Blue lost, Red won. But since I already had won the game, I could untick Gorge. Next up was a game of Badwater and yeah, I ran into some of the worst parts of the TF2 community. I mean, there's a good chance this fella's just joking in very poor taste, but you can't tell these days.
He's living in a white country telling white people to stop being white. Well, if that's not racist, I don't know what is. Because as we all know, gentlemen, whites are superior simply by we go to space and
Ooh, the bad word.
who mobile? So are you white, mate? Because it sounds as though you're not white. Are you one of these leftist, low testosterone whites who hates themselves? Sounds like you are, mate. Have you got a chin? Do you have any sort of thing known as a chin, or is your chin receding to the point where you've got no testosterone and you need to tell whites to be quiet because you love
You can't say that.
Are you an
And you're getting muted.
Good, mate. I'm glad that you can cancel me. It just makes me stronger. You
The dude spewing the racism wasn't helping much anyway. I don't think they even moved beyond the second or third last spot on the scoreboard before leaving. I got headshot by this probably legit but still kinda sus sniper. Probably just me being salty, but something felt off about that headshot. Just the way the camera moves, you know? Half of blue team chased down a single soldier and died.
Hail Hitler.
Nah.
Then I was gunned down by the red team in turn. Good job, guys. Eventually Blue managed to eke the cart to the point, but we hit a wall around the corner here. I was kind of expecting this. Towards the end of the game, the cart got really close to the final point but couldn't scrape by. That's right, kids. Racism always loses in the end. Defending was not fun. Blue was a much better side, and we had quite a few rage quitters on red. It wasn't long at all until we had to fall back to the last point. This pyro I was healing got a neat air blast. At first I thought he air blasted an arrow, but it was the sniper that I was also healing who finished the kill. I also lost the duel with the spy. Poor show on my behalf. My team, including me, kinda forgot about the cart. Like we went the opposite direction from it. I don't know why, but it was too late to save the game. We lost. Once again, I blame racism.
You failed!
Next up was Non-Spooky Man Manor. Sometimes I forget Mountain Lab exists. I was on red, so that meant defense. I just kinda rocked with the demo loader I was using from earlier. My team held the first point for a surprising amount of time, to be honest. I probably should have used a different grenade launcher, but that double doink is life. I got a sick luck crit kill, and wasn't able to stop Blue from capping. I think my team was doing pretty good overall, however. I had to switch from quickie to sticky as the blue engineer kept building sentries. I took most of the buildings out. This wasn't enough to stop them from capping the second point, however, and I decided to go heavy to help defend the final point. I made a medic waste all the Uber, which was fun. Once again, Blue built sentries, right above us this time. I sniped one as a heavy, then switched to engineer to set up my own defense. My sentries did a pretty good job until I got hoovied myself and died. This spy was having a grand old time, however. I set up again and ended up having to defend by myself a bit. I got bored of sentry duty and went spy to see if I could sep some tellies or something, but I uncloaked at a bad time.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
Of course, the moment I sap a telly is the one a soldier turns around and blows me up. And with that, we lost defense on Mountain Lab. However, it was now our turn to attack. I always like to hang back at the start of a game. This gives time for the enemy team to trigger their Uber and use it up, and time for me to use mine. After I used mine, I saw a Sully do the sickest sentry kill I've seen in a while. We weaved our way to the first point with minimal opposition. Once done, we did the same to the second point. I did my own little 6 sentry kill along the way. Once the second point was captured, we pushed to the last. The res defense had picked up, and we tried going the upper route. Me and Adema had a pretty good run along the lower corridor. I had a break from med to help upgrade some tellies. It's the nice thing to do. I then switched back to medic and once again helped with the push. There was a few close calls with the point, but Red was still putting up a strong fight. While waiting in line for the teleporter, Blue capped and Mountain Lab was done. Another one off the list. Now it was time for Hoodoo. I was on blue team on the second stage. I like to sneak along this sideway a lot of people seem to ignore. I swear earlier versions of Hoodoo didn't have this path, so that might be why. I don't know why, but engineers always build teleporters here. Always. So I always destroy them. Blue capped the second point, but I was getting gunned down by a heavy medic combo. I tried to hide from them when they got an Uber going. Whoops. Next I went solely to try the upper side of the last point. There was a sentry that blew me away the first time that I walked out, that I also happened to blow away as well. I walked out again to better success. My team was also pushing the cart really well. I ran to the fray towards the end just before we capped. Now we were up to the final stage, and Red was getting fighty. We had a too many snipers moment when suddenly half the team switched to the class. I was happily hobbling along as Hoovy myself. Me and some of the others on blue, including the snipers, cleared a path to the first point, and we pushed over it. The challenge was pushing to the final point, because Red was great at defending. I switched to Demo Man, and I kept dying, and dying, and dying, and dying, and dying, and dying, and oh wait, I was Pyro, not Demo, and dying, and dying. With each death I got closer and closer and closer to the cart, and in turn the cart got closer and closer to the final point. I took out a sentry hidden below the pit, and I took my chance to push that final bit. And with that, Hoodoo was won. It was not the end of the game, however, as I now had to defend. I started out by hiding as a pyro around the back of Blue Spawn to disrupt any Ubers coming out. It kinda worked. Blue quickly pushed towards the first point. I was using the gas passer for some reason. At Captain, we set up a final stand. I switched to Demo and gave the Scottish Resistance a good run. It pairs surprisingly well with the loose cannon on defense. I got a few good donk kills and eventually I made it my mission to make the upper balcony unusable to the other team. The extra stickies the Scottish Resistance has meant I could also defend the cart, not to mention the ability to control which stickies to set off. I got this luck crit kill, sorry Blue, and I kept spraying both objectives with stickies and the occasional donk cannonball. I tried to unsuccessfully grenade jump but got a kill anyway. pushed back an Uber with the loose cannon and the game was won. Hoodoo is, well, done do. I knew this moment would come again. 2 fort. Again. This time when I joined, the game was 1-1. I scouted the situation as, well, a scout to see how easy it would be to capture. It would not be easy. As expected, there was a few sentry nests set up around blue base. I was in red, by the way. I decided to go spy to see what I could do. This mostly consisted of me dying. Like a lot. I find standing on top of some of the props on certain maps tends to make you that little extra bit invisible. After dying to an engineer, a scout nabbed the intel but was killed in the courtyard. I tried my best to retrieve it, but it was too well guarded. I tried the hide under the stairs thing, but I guess this demo knew the spot as well.
Let's
We have
set him these like
crossed the enemy
gentlemen.
intelligence.
Thanks for the ride, partner. There's a spy creeping around here.
I ran into a rather blind engineer in the basement who led me to a sentry nest.
Alert. The enemy is scanning for intelligence. The enemy has
If you're wondering why I used the red tape recorder rather than the stock sapper, I don't know either. After a lot of nothing, I switched to demo and just kind of goofed around a bit. I then switched back to spy to do some spy things. I teamed up with another spy by chance to take down the NG nest, and lost at a spy duel, like a chump.
We have taken the enemy intelligence. The enemy intelligence.
I quickly switched to scout to see if I could nab the intel while it was not defended. I managed to get it to the bridge.
The enemy intelligence.
Blue was very intent on defending their intel. Base, no base. Suddenly, someone grabbed the intel and went the wrong way with it.
We have taken the enemy intelligence. We have taken the enemy intelligence.
Luckily they died and the intel was picked up by a pair of scouts who capped for red. We just needed one more cap to win, and I wanted to do it. I ended up going the sewer way to avoid the blue team. I think they were mostly at the front at this point. I heard an NG building with a heavy buddy for protection. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I managed to kill the engineer, but I still had to deal with the sentry and the heavy. As more time went on, the stronger the nest became. I went direct hit solely to see if I could brute force my way in. Sadly, I kinda suck with the direct hit, but I did take out the heavy. After making my way back again, I took out the sentry. This must have allowed a nearby pyro to get the intel and get back to our base. I followed just in case something happened.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! One, two, three! What the hell was that? Good shot! Go, go, go!
After a victory dance, it was over. 2-4 could finally be crossed off.
Victory screech!
The only other capture the flag map I was worried about was Turbine, but that would be for another time. Next time on Story Modish Challenge, that's right, I wrote down Modish on the script instead of Modish, deal with it. I end up on Sujin a lot. The return of Badwater. Well. Something about bananas. And I play some other maps too. See you all next time for footage I recorded several months ago.